Does it feel like you've been living in an energetic fog? Kind of like in zombie mode? A little bit tired, unsure of what direction you're going in? Even 1 minute being excited, energetic and motivated, but the next minute just feeling like you're on autopilot, that you're just existing. This is because you're going through the biggest upgrade yet. You're evolving into your best self, but in order to do that, you need to download information and upgrades in order to transform. So when we're in this fog-like energy, that's because we're in reboot, we're in recharge, and we're in reset. We're literally downloading the activations in order to become our very best selves. My name is Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This fog has been going on for a while now. We've all kind of experienced timeline shifts before, but we've never really been conscious of them. We've never really registered what they were. We didn't understand what they were. But because we're in the biggest timeline jump that we've ever experienced, from the old earth into the new earth, it is really, it's taking an awful toll on our bodies. Because we're energetic beings, we're literally changing frequency from the 3D frequency we've always known, which is fear, greed, lack, poverty consciousness, into that 5D frequency, which is abundance, love, prosperity. You know, and our bodies are feeling, I call this the stretchy phase. It's like we're literally being stretched between two worlds, but we're upgrading, and that's the difference. We're actually evolving and upgrading. So when we think we're stagnant, we're downloading so much information. And you know, I had this vision the other day, you know, where we're getting on with, like, the thing is, right, it's like we're slowing down to speed up. We're slowing down to speed up. So 1 minute we're in like fog mode, reboot mode, and the next minute we're raring to go. We're excited for life again. And it's like back and forth. It's a back and forth energy. And the way I see it is that wherever your sanctuary is, so like your home, that's where your charging station is, in a sense. You know, so like, you know, I've likened this before, for us empaths anyway. When we need to recharge, it's like literally we have to shut down, plug into the wall, and just switch off to reboot. And this is kind of what's happening on a consistent basis lately, is that we're literally having to go back to our home, our sanctuary, and literally go into that upgrade mode. And you know, for example, you know, if your computer, it needs upgrading, it's like upgrade in progress, do not turn off your computer. That's what that fog-like energy is. We're like computers, you know, downloading this upgrade, and we literally have to go into pause mode and, you know, do nothing while we're upgrading. And, you know, because we're creatures of habit and we're creatures of, I need to be doing something all the time, we think that we're being lazy. We're not. We're actually, we're preparing ourselves for the next phase. And that's to jump into our highest timeline completely. And we're literally, you know, on the middle ground here. Like, we have 1 foot in the old and 1 foot in the new. And that is that stretchy feeling. And that's the symptoms we're going to have in our bodies is going to be like body aches, headaches, extreme exhaustion. You know, I'm still going through that exhaustion some evenings, like, where I just cannot keep my eyes open. We're sleeping extra or we're sleeping less. We're doing that work on the astral. But what we're really doing is downloading so much information. We're remembering why we're here. You know, oftentimes we're like, did you ever go through this where you know something and you don't have any idea how you know it? That's because your soul is remembering what you've already known. And this is the fun part of it. Like, you know, you're getting downloaded information, but that's not really what it is happening. It feels like we're getting downloads, but what we're actually doing is getting activations to reawaken the dormant information that's already been within us all along. Like, we know it all. We actually do know everything. But if we come into this world with amnesia, so we're not supposed to know it straight away, because if we had it all at once, we would freak out. This is what happens. Like, you know, we all know with this awakening process that we have questioned our sanity along the way, and no matter how open-minded you are, or how evolved you think you are, you know, all of this information, it still wows us. Like, and I love it because I'm so open-minded, but when the universe or the angels give me some confirmation and it's like, oh my God, I love magic, it's so real. You know what I mean? And I still get so excited every time. But this is all we're doing. We're re-remembering what we already know. So, like, you know, it's constant. I get the ear buzzing in this ear, especially in my right ear. And it's like this kind of noise every so often, and that's downloads. I get these vibrations up through my feet, which is uploads from Mother Gaia. So this is all literally transforming you into your very best self. So what is this doing? It's reminding us that we're being prepared for something greater than ourselves. We're being prepared for something. We're being prepared for something we've planned for already, which is funny because we're kind of going, you know, what's going on? Oh my God, I have no idea. But in actual fact, we all know what's happening unconsciously because we've been preparing for this, not just this lifetime, but for many, many lifetimes. So when we're in that foggy energy, we're literally just upgrading. And you have to be kind to yourself and patient with yourself. Because often, I've said this already, like, you know, as humans, we're just, I have to be doing. If I sit down and have a rest, people are thinking I'm going to be lazy, like. But if your body is screaming at you to rest, if your body is in pain, and if you are really, really tired, and you don't rest, what's going to happen? You're going to get to the place where you're collapsing, and you can't actually do anything. Whereas if you give yourself enough rest in the middle, you know, rejuvenate your body, then you're going to be better prepared for the next step. So it's like preventing the worst, but also just listening to yourself and understanding that, like, it might seem like you're doing very little, but energetically speaking, you're doing so fucking much. You know, how much inner work have you been doing? How much introspection have you been doing? How much self-awareness have you, and, you know, mindfulness have you been doing? You know, how many decisions have you made in order to follow your purpose path? How many hard situations did you have to leave in order to follow your purpose path? You know, your soul is constantly doing that work. Your soul is, while you're asleep, your soul is constantly on the 5D. I've said this before. Your soul is doing 24-hour back-to-back shifts. It doesn't sleep. You know, so if your physical body, if your physical human self was doing 24-hour shifts in a physical environment, how would that feel? You would be fucked. And that's why your body feels so tired right now. Because effectively you are doing 24-hour spiritual shifts. You're literally doing work consistently. And we never give I've done this before as well, like, you know, because it's invisible, because it's the internal work, we don't give ourselves enough credit as we would for the external work. You know what I mean? We think that do, that deserves credit. But be deserves credit as well, because when we're being, we're actually doing. We're really, like, this is the most important work, because we cannot physically move forward with our lives unless we're internally capable. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, you can give yourself a medal for achieving this in the physical world, but how did you achieve that in the physical world? Your body didn't go on fucking autopilot and start manually just doing shit. Like, you're not actually a fucking robot. You know what I mean? Your internal system had to upgrade enough for you to be able to do the things externally. So why aren't we giving our internal system the same credit that we give our external system? And why aren't we giving ourselves enough compassion with all that hard work that we're doing? That's the thing, like, you know, we're not being lazy. There's nothing actually wrong. And, you know, we can feel guilty for feeling unmotivated. But the thing is, our path is exactly as it's supposed to be for our individual journey. So if you want to follow your purpose path, but it's delayed, it doesn't mean it's not for you. It just means it's not the right time, and that you need that extra bit of downloaded information in order to make whatever you're doing be the best it can be. So we need to start cherishing these moments of reboot and recharge, because this is what makes us not only stronger, but more capable of doing a better job externally. And that's the main symptom I've been kind of, I was trying to figure it out yesterday. And I was like, what came to my mind was like, geez, I've lost my, the joy of life. I've lost the kind of, that get up and go energy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm productive in many ways of my life, and there's stuff that brings me fulfillment. But when I'm in that fog-like reboot mode, it's literally like I'm only existing, and it's just like, it's like I've lost that little bit of spark. But that's only when I'm in reboot mode. When I come out of reboot mode, I'm raring to go, and all the motivation is back, and I'm moving forward. So that proves that I'm not stuck. But in this fog-like zombie, the way I describe it is a zombie robot, because we're literally being plugged in like a robot, but we're in zombie mode. So, like, when we're in reboot mode, we're in zombie mode. The same with your computer. Don't switch off the computer, but the computer is literally just on pause for a second. And that's what we are. We're on pause to reboot. So, as I said, just be compassionate with yourself throughout this. Understand that all of this is for your highest good. You're jumping into your highest timeline yet, and you're literally getting all the information that you need in order to do so. Not getting, you're unlocking. There we go. Because it's already in there. All of that information is already within you. You're unlocking that information. It's like, when you play a computer game and you unlock the levels. So you need to get to a certain stage and learn certain things or gather certain amounts of information in order to get to the next level, in order to unlock the next phase. So every time we go into that fog-like zombie mode, we're literally playing a little video game in our internal being. We're gaining that information, we're gaining that knowledge to unlock the next level. We're literally reactivating what's already lying dormant within us. And that's the thing. And that's what I was thinking about there just a while ago. It's like, it's not really a download. It's it's a code. It's a cheat code. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. It's like a cheat code. It's like when we're ready, we're getting the code. So yeah, I know this already. Sorry, it's just when I'm in the middle of these things, there's loads of information comes in. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're getting. We're getting the codes to unlock the next level of information that we're going to use for the next phase. So this is what it is. We're going into our 2.0 version. We're becoming our very best. And I know what this feels like, especially if you're in the dark night of the soul as well, or if you're going through really deep healing and introspection, while in zombie mode, when we're in that reboot mode, we can be a little bit hard on ourselves because we're feeling guilty because we think we're being lazy. We feel unfulfilled in a sense because we're worried that we're not on the right path. And we feel like we're in this stagnant, low vibrational energy. But I'll keep saying this. Every time you're plugged into that fucking wall, that's one of the most important things you can do. Being is so important to make the doing better. You know what I mean? And we need to have those moments of pause, not only to reboot, not only to recharge, not only to regain our strength, but to remember why we're here, to download that information, to upgrade our information systems, to evolve and transform. So, and I keep saying this, how are we going to physically move forward if our internal system doesn't work? It's like I have this image now of the alien, I think it's the alien out of Men in Black, and there's a little guy in the head, controlling the whole thing. So that's it. We need to look after the little guy that's controlling the system. I keep getting these images of us being zombie robots, and maybe we're the fucking AI that has taken over the planet years ago. Anyway, Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit weird. But yeah, so like that little guy on the inside is controlling all the stuff, right? And sure, if he doesn't get a good night's sleep, like, you know, he's not going to be able to drive the ship properly. Do you know what I mean? We're the ship. You know, so you know, we need to look after the little guy inside who's using all the controls in order for the external system, this machine we're using, to work. Because that's it. Like, if you go into a job where you're using a machine and you don't have a good night's sleep or you're hungover, you're not going to use the machine properly. You know what I mean? Or you're going to be really slow or really bad. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I can just imagine us just walking into walls because our little man inside is fucking hungover. Anyway. Sorry. Sorry, I am so weird. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway. That was weird. So yeah, in order to make ourselves move forward productively, we need to look after our internal system. So you cherish these moments of fog, because these are the moments that you're downloading, you're uploading, you're unlocking, you're reactivating, you're upgrading. You know, this is what you're doing. So these moments of pause are the most important thing. Your internal work is so important. It's so important. So start giving yourself credit for that internal work, because that's what brings you that external success. Understand this tiredness, these body aches, headaches, this extra sleeping or sleeping less, these bouts of exhaustion, this extreme fatigue, this fog-like energy. All of that is connected to you rebooting. So see yourself as that computer that's upgrading. Give yourself that moment. Don't plug out. Just pause and let that information download. Let yourself upgrade. Let yourself become the best version. Because this is your biggest transformation yet. You're jumping into your highest timeline. So be patient with yourself. That's the word that we haven't used yet. Patience. One of the biggest lessons I keep learning is patience. Any delay, any detour, it's redirection, but it's patience. Everything you want is coming to you, but you need to give yourself that moment to allow it to come in. Like, if you're not doing the internal work, you're literally there with these shields up going, I can see the abundance coming, but I'm not letting you in. Whereas with the internal work, you can remove those shields and you can actually allow this love in, that prosperity in, that abundance in. So be mindful of yourself and your energy. Be patient with yourself and your energy. Be compassionate towards yourself and your energy. Rest yourself through it. Get plenty of water into you. And just trust the process. Because this is exactly what's supposed to happen. And you're not in a fog-like energy. You're literally like you're like a robot plugged into the wall for reboot. Zombie robot. Ooh. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.